Morning, 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 morning. It's Saturday, the 20th of April 2019. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom tour coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. Hope you had a nice day yesterday. Of course, I went to the Good Friday Mass at our local Corpus Christi church. Very, very moving Mass, that is. You cannot fail not to be moved at the Good Friday Mass, wherever it is that you go to church. I think, did anyone go? Just me and Shania's dad, and maybe her brother. Was that it? Oh dear. Never. We won't be seeing any of you in heaven. It's just such a shame. I'll be sitting up there talking to myself. Not much difference there then, is it? So that was nice yesterday. It was nice to see Vivian, who I used to sit next to at the 9 o'clock Mass. Of course, I go to 11 o'clock now, so I don't see her anymore, and I haven't seen her for a few months. So really, really nice to see Vivian and sat next to her, and she read some of the Passion. Well, it was quite funny. She went up and started, I think she was doing the narrator's part, Shania. You know that part, N. She was doing N, the narrator. She wasn't doing O, other people, or C, cry. She was doing N. She was doing N. So Vivian was doing N. And after a couple of sentences she read out, an elderly lady came and sat in her seat. I thought, oh, I'll have to say something, dear. And I said to the lady, I said, I'm sorry, my love, the lady who's doing the reading, that's her seat. She said, oh, is it? In a loud voice. In a loud voice. Doing the Passion. I said, yes. And she giggled, but didn't move. I thought, what shall I do now? Anyway, I noticed there was a gap next to me on the left. I said, come on. And I grabbed her hand and pulled her along. Oh, so moving. It really upsets me going to that service, I must say. But there we are. And there was another lady in there, Trish, who I haven't seen for ages. Trish. And she's been going there ever since I've been going. I've only been going to that particular church about but it must be over 2 years now, actually. And I said, I haven't seen her for a while. And she said she's been going up to Herefordshire. She's moving to Herefordshire. And I said, why are you moving to Herefordshire? She said, I've had enough of cars and buildings. And I said, I know exactly where you're coming from. I said, I will do the same at some point. I'm sure it's not in the too distant future. I will do the same at some point. I said, I bought a caravan. I said, and you know what you just said about the trees? She said, I want grass and trees and cows. I said, I open the door to my caravan and that's what I see. Minus the cows. I see grass and trees and fields. That's all I see. And there's like a bank where you know there's a river right at the top there. That's all I see. That's what she wants. She's another one. Had enough of towns and cities. I mean, I hate cities. I hate cities, especially when they got eco-warriors climbing all over them, haven't they, the cities at the moment? Well, London has anyway. Apparently, it's not just here that they're having those climate protests. I saw on the news yesterday there's one in Paris at a bank of some sort. I think some sort of bank where they've got into the bank and they're literally just sitting on the floor, doing nothing, creating mayhem for everyone else. That's what's going on. I looked at the papers just before I came on this morning, and I took notes here, and the eco-warriors are saying there's going to be another week of misery for hard-working people like you and me. Another week of misery, which I must admit hasn't affected me, not yet anyway. But next week, apparently they're going to do picnics on motorway. Well, good luck with that, kids. That is really dangerous. I hope you pick the place very carefully if you're going to do that. If you're going to do it just after a bend, most of you will be dead fairly quickly. I'd be very, very careful. I'd think several times about doing a picnic on a blooming motorway. You must be out of your minds. It's bad enough with these whole hard shoulders that now have been converted into another lane. It's happened to me before where you've been driving along and then you kind of turn a corner, which doesn't necessarily have to be a sharp corner, but you turn in the corner, going along at 50, 60, 70 mile an hour, or faster if you want to break the law, 80, 90 perhaps. You're going along and as you're going around a corner, suddenly there's a car stopped there with its hazards on in your path. On the right-hand side, there's cars that side, and there's nothing on the left-hand side, and you literally have to slam your brakes on. They are so... What idiots! What complete and utter idiot thought it would be a good idea to convert the hard shoulder into another driving lane? How stupid can you be? Absolutely ridiculous. There was a bloke, was it an AA bloke or an RAC bloke, who said the government need to stop turning that hard shoulder into another lane. And it's all about money, of course. You know, to turn the hard shoulder into another lane, I would assume, costs quite a lot of money. But less than tearing up another bit of countryside and putting another lane in there. Or, you know, the best thing to do to make roads and that bigger would be to build another level. So all roads would have a flyover, but going in the same direction as the road, you see. But I mean, that would they'd never find the money for that, would they? That'd be the best thing to do. Don't take any more, just build it upwards, put another lot of lanes. That would work very well. I think so anyway. But you couldn't do it. We would never be able to afford that. Barely can afford to put another lane in there. So it's just madness. So if they're going to start doing picnics on motorways, you really are dicing with death. They're just madness doing something like that. So that's not all my car news. Other car news, boys and girls. I know you're holding your breath, waiting to hear what happened to my car yesterday, aren't you? As you know, I think I had a slow puncture. When I came in back from Lincolnshire on Thursday evening, a little light had come on indicating that I'd got a low pressure on one of the tyres. Put the car away, went to bed, woke up in the morning. I came here to do a show, chatting to you in the morning, and I said, I better go. I'm going to be going out to the car straight afterwards. I'll probably have a flat tyre. No flat tyre, I'm pleased to report. So I got the car out the garage. And I got the car out of the garage and I looked around the tyres and I thought, I don't know which one it is. They all looked, you know, at first glance, they all looked like they hadn't gone flat, all the tyres. And then I looked more carefully and I thought, that one at the front, one on the front passenger side, that looks a bit lower than the other one. So I closed the garage doors and I went up to Sainsbury's to pump the tyres up. Oh, well, that was excitement in its own self. There were two cars in front of me, but that's okay. Wasn't in a rush. So I waited for these two cars in front of me. Then it was my turn. Okay. So I've gone around the car and taken off one of the little caps. Gone to the machine and I thought, what's that on there? And there's like a credit card thing. Oh, you've got to pay for air now. At Sainsbury's, got to pay for air. 20 pence. 20 pence. Of course, got note. And I noticed there's like a number plate, like a keypad on this machine, and it says get a code, enter your code here, and it looked like the same sort of buttons that they've got on the I was going to say dishwasher then, on the car washing machine. Oh, just let me turn that noise off. There we go. On the car washing machine. So I thought, I've got to go in the garage. And I said to the bloke behind me, I said, you know, you've got to pay for this now. He says, no, you haven't. I said, you have? I said, you've got to go in the garage and get a code or something, or there's some sort of card reader there. And this bloke got out. He's about the same age as me. He looked at the thing. He said, oh, it's one of those card tapping things. I said, well, I don't usually use those, the tap thing. You know, I usually put my credit card in and push the buttons. 2222. Ah, not really. Not really. Don't think you're going to nick my cards and know my... You don't think I'll give you my bank account number, do you? God's sake, you'd be straight in there, wouldn't you? All those dodgy Nigerian people in Nigeria who keep sending me emails telling me that I've got £10 million and all I've got to do to get that is send £2,000 to their house in Nigeria and they'll release the funds. I don't think so. I don't think so. So this thing, so I got my credit card out and I'm touching this. And I said, there's nothing happening. Touch. And he's reading the instructions. He said, oh, you've got to choose air or water. So it's 20p for water as well. At the same machine. How do they get air and water in the same machine? Isn't that strange? It's strange and mysterious. That's what it is. So I'm about to tap it again. He said, if I were you, he said, I'd go around and take all your little, air, what are they called, those little things? Air caps. Tyre caps. You know that thing to stop the dirt getting into the tube on the tyres. What's that called? Air caps. Hubcaps. No. Something caps. You know what I mean. So he said, go and unscrew all those first, because that usually takes about a minute, especially if one gets stuck. So I went round and unscrewed them all. Then went back to the machine, pushed this air button, and then touched my car. And how much did it take? 20 pence. I mean, was it bloody worth it? Was it worth it to take 20 pence, all the hassle to pay 20 pence into that machine? It came up on the little thing, 20 pence, as I touched my card on it. And then the thing burst into action. So it needed £31, I think, or something like that. Went round to the back one, already, 33. I think it was 33. Went round to the back one, 33. The other back one, 33. Came round to the side, put the thing on. £12 there was in that. That's the one. That's the one. £12. So I pumped that out. That took a while, that did. Up to 33, and it got right up there. Went round to the front one, already on 33 as well. So I know what one it is now. Excellent. Put the thing back, said goodbye to the bloke, off I went. And I drove past 2 Kwik-Fits, because we don't like Kwik-Fit. The last time I went to Kwik-Fit was a number of years ago now. I thought I'd save money instead of going to my Toyota dealer. Now, normally, with a puncture, Toyota will fix that for free. If you take the car in, they fix it. They pick in. All punctures are fixed free. You just take them in and it's done. Unfortunately, of course, knowing my luck, Good Friday, okay? They are open this morning till 1 o'clock. But remember, I've got to go to and from work last night. And it may be that me pumping up the tyre would have been all right for a number of hours before it slowly goes down again. But I don't like to take that risk, especially if you're driving on the motorway. You mustn't ever take risk with tyres. These idiots who buy remoulded tyres as well. Not good. Not good. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where you don't have much of a choice. You've got to spend the money. No saving money on tyres. Okay? Don't save money on tyres. So I've got... So I've driven past 2 Kwik-Fits. The reason I don't stop there is because the last time I went, and I went with a puncture, and I said, I need a puncture repair on that, please. It's got a slow puncture. Okay, so he looked at it, and he said, that's going to be a new tyre, that one. Oh, is it? Why is that then? Why is that then? He said, can you see? Of course, I don't know. I'm just a layman. I'm just a member of the public. I don't know anything about cars. I don't really want to know anything about cars. I just want to get in the damn thing, turn the steering wheel, push a foot down so that it moves forward. I've not really any interest in the workings, spark plugs or anything uninteresting like that in a car. No interest at all. Thank you, Gary. Dust caps. Adam, dust caps as well. Thank you very much. Dust caps on the tyre, right? So when a bloke says to me, oh, you need this done, or you need that done, you just have to take it as given. We don't know. But my brother-in-law or either of my nephews would know straight away if someone was taking the piss. They would. I wouldn't, you see. I've only got an idea. So he said, oh, no, you need a new tyre there. Oh, well, how much is that going to cost? Well, I'll have a look in a minute, mate. And he goes into this office. Types this thing down. Now, I've already looked at it on the internet, okay? I've already checked out the price of a tyre on the Kwik-Fit internet thing, website thing, right? I've already checked. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it's 50 quid. Okay, so let's say it's 50 quid for a tyre. So he's gone in there. Right. He said, yep, I can do you one for £87. I said, well, I've looked up on the internet and it says 50 quid. He said, yeah, but that's the internet price. I said, well, it's still Kwik-Fit. Is that still Kwik-Fit? He said, yeah, but that's the internet price. I said, well, how do I get that price? Oh, you've got to book it in on the internet. I said, well, I'm here now. Can you not just do it now? No, you've got to book it in and then we can do it for 50 quid. Otherwise, it's £87, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, but I'm here already. So can you not just do that on your computer for me, and then I'll pay your £87 for a new tyre, and that'll be fine. No, I can't do that. You've got to go back and book it in on the internet. I'll just check your other tyres as well while you're here. Oh, okay then, mate. So he gets this gadget thing. It's like a stick thing, something like that it is, and he adjusts it. He does something to it. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. Right? Starts going around the other tyres. Oh, that one's quite low as well. You're nearly on there, mate. Let me just do the 2 back ones. Does the 2 back ones. He said, they're all quite low. If I were you, I'd change all 4 tyres. We can do you a deal on that. Starts tapping away. I can't give me some better prices. 300 quid or something like that. I said, no. Well, I just wanted the 1 tyre fixed today. Okay, so do you want us to do that £187? I said, no, I'll go away and book it on the internet and come back. Oh, okay. Right? Didn't then, a very bad business, didn't then try and keep me there as a customer to hand over my cash. No, he let me go. Very, very foolish. I went straight down Toyota from there. Toyota, I went in there, I said, hello, mate, I've got a bit of a puncture on the front there. He said, oh, okay, I'll get someone out to see you. He's gone to get someone and he's come back. He said, there'll be someone out in a minute. He said, they're a little bit busy at the moment. If you don't mind waiting, that's fine. Sat down, made myself a cup of tea. And then there was only me and the, this is a few years, about 3 years ago. So it's only me and the, service receptionist type in there. Nice, but, and I know them all. I said, I'm going to be honest with you now. I said, I've just been down Kwik-Fit and I told him the story. He said, all right, well, we'll see what the blokes say. Blokes come out. He said, yeah, I'll be able to fix that as a puncture. I said, oh, right, okay, excellent. I said, what's the cost of that? He said, no, we do that for free for you. For you, sir, as you're a regular customer. Fantastic. Right, so that was done. He came back. I said, did you have a look at the other tyres by any chance? He said, yeah, that's right, we always do that. Here's the report. You've got plenty of wear on all of those. Shocking. And I never went back to Kwik-Fit after that. I wrote them a letter and a bloke came round to my house. A bloke, like a Kwik-Fit manager type person, came round to the house and looked at the tyres and agreed with their shop. So I won't ever go there again. And they've been on that Watchdog place and things like that, haven't they? Do you remember Watchdog? I remember Anne Robinson telling us all about them. How you'd go in and they'd say you'd need a new exhaust or something like that. Filthy Robin bastards. No, thank you. Won't go to Kwik-Fit unless I absolutely have to. So I drove past 2 Kwik-Fits yesterday. And I went to a tyre place that I'd already looked up in Binfield. Good Friday, guess what? It was blooming closed, wasn't it? Oh, no. I'm going to have to go to Kwik-Fit. Then I remembered a place called Bracknell Tyres, where I've been before. So I thought, well, I won't drive there. I'll give them a quick ring. And they aren't. Bloke answered the phone. Good morning, Bracknell Tyres. I said, oh, just checking if you're open. Okay, mate, I'll pop down and see you. Okay, mate, thanks very much. Put the phone down. Got there. And there was about 5 cars already there. I went in the little office. They're always dingy old offices, these tyre places, aren't they? They're not comfortable places, are they? They've got these old flea-ridden chairs around the corner. There's the old tea machine in the corner, a crisp and chocolate machine there, what looked like they needed a good clean, to be honest, and a bloke on the desk. On the way down, hello, mate. Told him my problem. Okay, he said, I'll put you on the list. He said, I'm afraid there's a bit of a wait at the moment, about 45 minutes. I said, that's fine, mate. I'm not in a rush. I looked at the clock and it was about 12 o'clock now, I think it was. So there goes my swimming for yesterday. I couldn't go swimming yesterday. Remember, I've got to be at church at 3. Well, 2:30, actually. 2:30 to manage to get a parking space. So I sat down in there. I sat there for a couple of minutes and the sun was out outside. I said, is it okay to sit outside? He said, yeah, that's no problem at all, mate. You're on the list there. A bloke will come out and see you when it's your turn. Yeah, as I say, he said, I'm very sorry, it's about 45 minutes. Okay. So I'm sitting in there and I was just watching really YouTube videos and watch the news on my iPhone in the car. And the sun was out and I had my door open. It's nice to see people coming and going and about their business. And those boys in there, I think it was only 2, no, it wasn't boys, they were blokes. It was 2 blokes working in there. They didn't stop. My God, that place is so busy. And I'm not surprised because it's not expensive. I looked at some of the prices of stuff and what have you. And of course, they do the whole wheel balancing thing if you want all that in there. I said, all I want really is for a puncture to be repaired because the car's going in 2 or 3 weeks' time. There's a new one coming, so I really don't want to have to buy a new tyre. And it was about an hour, actually. After about an hour, this bloke came out. I said, hello, mate. I said, I really don't want a new tyre. He said, don't worry, mate. He said, we'll fix it for you. Okay, thanks very much. Takes the car in. I go and sit in the office. Bloke's in there. And I've been watching this bloke behind the till. And he looked like he was about the same age as me, to be honest. And he was really, really good with the way he spoke to people. I was it was like being in John Lewis, to be honest. You know what some of these blokes are like in garages and places like that? They kind of talk down to you a bit, like you're stupid. Well, when it comes to cars, probably I am stupid. But unnecessary to talk to people and fool them into thinking that they need things that they don't really need. I blooming well hate that. But he wasn't like that at all. As a customer came either to book in or pay for their items, whatever they decided to do, he spoke to them like people, like a one-to-one type thing. Quiet, very soothing voice, actually. And I'm listening to him doing that. And it was fantastic. And then eventually I saw my car went in and bloke was working on it. I could see all this through the window. And he was on that about 20 minutes, maybe. I think he was working on my tyre, took the tyre off. And then eventually the bloke who fixed it didn't come and talk to me again, actually. He just dropped the keys in. And then the bloke says, car's all done, mate. We've managed to fix the chump puncher. I said, oh, excellent. How much is that, please? £20. Yeah, fantastic. 20 quid. I thought I was going to have to spend 250 quid on a bloody tyre. 20 quid. I was well happy. I nearly bought myself a cup of tea as well. And I thought, no, you're pushing it there. Don't have the cup of tea as well. So I handed over me 12. I do all my business stuff on a card, you see, because it goes through as a tax-deductible item to the tax man. Everything I do, and I need the car for work, so that's why I can put that through. So I put through this, so I handed over my card and £20 on there, and said, thank you very much. I said, I just want to say to you, you're really good at your job there. He said, oh, thank you very much, sir. I said, no, honestly, I've been listening and watching the way you talk to people, have come in with their various problems, this, that and the other. I said, you are really, really good at your job. How long have you been here? He said, well, I've only been here about 8 months. He was at another car place before that. And before that, I think some sort of customer service thing. So he knew exactly what he was doing. He said, I think it comes with age as well. I said, well, how old are you then? He said, oh, quite old. I said, well, I'm 56. Are you round about my age? He said, a bit older than me. I'm 58. I said, oh, right, okay. I said, I bet you don't feel 58, do you? Do you think you're 58 in your head? He said, no. I said, no, I don't think I'm 56. I said, but do you get the odd pain? He said, oh, God, yeah. You're walking down the road and suddenly a leg will hurt, or your wrist, or your arm, or your neck will go. This is one of the things you get old. And he said, I get it a lot because he used to do a lot of martial arts, kung fu, hang, nang, tang, dang, wong, oh, and all that business. So that was it. So there I was with my newly repaired tyre. And it's funny, when you have a puncture done in a tyre, if you look round the outside of the tyre, there'd be a little bit of rubber sticking out, which is the bit, I think they push something through there, don't they? And it sticks out at the other end, which would, of course, wear down very quickly as you're going along the road. So, puncture repair done. Thank you very much. Got back here. I just about managed to have dinner, and then I went down to the church. I got to the church. Oh, God, the car park was already full up. That would have been, I was a little bit late. This is because of the tyre thing, you see. I was a little bit late. I got to the car park of the church around about 20 to 3. If I'd have got there at 2:30, it would have been fine, which is what I had intended, but it was 20 to 3. The car park already full up. I thought, oh, God. And I remember I just got, because you can't park on a yellow line, not even on a Good Friday. Don't risk it. Every council has different laws. You can't risk ever parking on a yellow line anymore these days. It's all very well. Someone I'm sure will say, oh no, it's Sunday rules. Not necessarily. It depends where you are. Depends where you are in the world. Okay, watch out for those yellow lines. Don't ever park on one. And I remembered I'd just gone past a bit of a break in the yellow line where there was space for one more car. So I quickly came back round and it was still there. So I managed to hook into that quickly and went into the church. So that was my morning yesterday. What an exciting morning that was, eh? Let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Shania. Morning, Shania on the Isle of Wight. Eh? Did you find it very moving yesterday at church? I bet you did, my darling. Morning, Shania. Hello to Diane Jebb. Mark Jones is there, as is Rod Brown, Mike Poleman. Good morning, Robbie Stedman. Very colourful. I was looking at your pictures last night while I was at work. You've got some colourful clothes on there. Morning, Robbie. Morning, Adam the plumber. Is there a phone in today? No, I won't have time for a phone in, I'm afraid. Won't have time for a phone in today. Adam the delightful plumber. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's show. Oh, I'm not sure what time tomorrow, actually. If there be a show tomorrow, there might not be one tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. I'm not organ playing tomorrow, but I've got to go in at 10:10 to meet the people who are doing the youth mass, and also the chap he's only 19, this chap who's supposed to be playing the piano for the youth mass, but he gets very nervous in front of crowds of people. So I'm supposed to be learning these songs, but only as a backup. And I really think he should be the one playing the piano. But nevertheless, I've got to learn these. They're more songs than hymns, to be honest. And it's coming along. It is coming along. It would be all right probably if I had the piano with me the whole week. But when I go up to the caravan, I don't have a keyboard up there, a piano up there. I mean, I have, to be honest, I've been looking for one on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace and eBay, but nothing that is suitable has come up yet. I mean, I could go to Argos, but then you're talking about sort of a little bit serious more money, aren't you? So Argos is just up there. They've probably got one in there. I don't want a massive one because that would just look stupid in the caravan, but something deep, and not a 50 quid job, because you're never going to get much out of a 50 quid keyboard unless you're like, a child, or you just want a little bit of fun. I'm not a serious pianist, don't get me wrong, but I've got to have something decent to practice these things on, and I don't have one in the caravan. So all I've got to do is practice today and tomorrow, Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm up at the caravan, you see. So then I've only got Saturday, and then Sunday is the mass, which I hope not to have to play for. So I'm meeting them tomorrow morning at 10:10 in the morning to just try and have a little run through, and I'm hoping that he's going to be there as well, and I will do my best to sort of convince. Look, I'll sit next to you, and I might have to pretend that I know all the songs off by heart with no problem at all, to make him feel more comfortable with me sitting perhaps just behind him, or maybe even next to him or in front of him, to encourage him to do it. And if he does make mistakes, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's just about getting him to do it. So I'm hoping that he will be able to do that. Rob says, it seems you were buying more than tyres yesterday, Chris. No, only tyres. What else did I buy yesterday? That was it, tyres. Well, not tyres, punchers. Punchers in the car. Nice journey into work yesterday, I've got to say. Wow. Journey into work yesterday. It was 1 hour and 20 minutes instead of the usual 2 hours. How is that? Fantastic. 1 hour and 2 minutes. Not so good with the parking, unfortunately. The 3 spaces that were outside the pub, the 3 spaces that were outside the pub were all gone, so I had to go up a little bit further and park down a side road. But that means I've got to carry everything. I've got 2 bags on my shoulder, a mixer in a carrier bag, and what's the other thing? And my bag of microphones and tambourines and wires and things like that. So I had to carry those all around the corner. But what a lovely Friday night, hour and 20 minutes to get into work. There's nothing on the road. Nothing on the road. I mean, it might be different today or tomorrow when the eco warriors start having picnics on motorways. Madness. A smaller crowd in there last night. Not our usual Friday night manicness. It was okay, but much less than usual for 2 reasons. A lot of people away on Easter holidays, of course. And Euston Station was closed. No trains whatsoever from Euston Station. So we didn't see Roy either last night. But we had a nice little crowd in there. Maureen was there. Is Maureen with us this morning? Good morning to Maureen. She's watching this morning at home. Morning, Maureen. She was there and she bought me in a bar. Maureen, you bought me in a bar. You must stop buying in bars of chocolate. They're very nice. And it's very nice of you to buy them. They are absolutely delicious bars of chocolate. But I've just weighed myself today and I'm now 13 stone, 5 pounds. This is really bad. This is really bad. Just because I like something, it's not that I must have it, dear. You mustn't give me any more chocolate. Thank you, Maureen. But thank you very much for bringing it in. It was very kind of you, my darling, okay? Got back here. Made me dinner, watched Victoria Part 1. That's back on the telly. We've had, I think there's been 3 programmes so far. You know Victoria, about Queen Victoria. Great. I've got about halfway through episode 1, so that's excellent. This morning I didn't get up till about 8:30 this morning. I've been practising the hymns, as I say, on the piano this morning, and they're coming along slowly. And that's it, really. This morning, after I finish the show this morning, I'm going to have a shave in the garden. Then I don't have to worry about the airs. I'm going to have a little bit of that's getting a little bit too much there, I think, for me. So some of that's going to come off. Not completely, but some of that's going to come off this morning. And then I've got a couple of great big pots, massive pots that I'm going to put in the car. Up at the caravan, I don't really have some of the plots have got gardens. My plot doesn't have a garden. It has an area that's got paving stones on it. So I've got some very big pots. My sister's given me some. Oh, incidentally, they do great big pots at the moment in Aldi. If they've got any left, they're the type with the 2 handles. You know, bright plastic colours, beautiful colours. They've got them in Aldi at the moment. I think for just £3.99, which is really good. Okay, so if you want any of those, my dear sister has given me some massive pots that she was using to grow potatoes in. And I think I'd quite like to do that. I think I'd like to have a go again at growing potatoes. I tried that here a few years ago with success. It's quite easy to grow potatoes. So I think I'd like to do some of those in the great big pots. I love gardening and all that business. So I'm going to try that, do some of that, and also some other plants in there. At the moment, I've got about 10 massive pots, so it's going to cost me a little bit money in earth, I think. Usually you can go to the garden centres or Sainsbury's Home Base or B&Q, somewhere like that, and you get like 3 bags of earth for £10 or something like that. I'm not quite sure how much I'll need, but I'm not going to need a decent. I'll probably have to spend about 50 quid on earth, I think. And I've also got 2 great big pots downstairs, big black ones, which I'm going to put in the car and take up there. I have got outside the front some big black pots with lilies in them. A few years ago, my mate's mum gave me, I think there was about 6 or 7 lilies in pots, which I put in the big black ones that I've got, in the big black pots that I've got. Well, now, over the last 4, it must be about 4 years ago, they have just multiplied and multiplied, and now these big black pots are full of lilies, and they're starting to grow. They are starting to grow. The only thing is, around sort of February, I thought, I think 2 people would possibly be able to lift this. And I was able to move it myself slightly. I couldn't lift it up completely. And I thought, if I can get someone to help me to the car with this, that'd be all right. Unfortunately, what's been happening is that I watered them. And so now you can't lift them. So I don't think that's going to happen this year. Maybe next year. Maybe next year I'll take one of the things of lilies. But they are beautiful. I'll do some photos. This great big black pot. And it's just a massive amount of lilies come out of them. So pretty. I think they're one of my favourite flower lilies. I like the pink ones, tiger lilies, that smell. Oh, they're beautiful, they are. Is anyone with us on YouTube this morning? I don't have any YouTube messages this morning. So if you're on YouTube, I'm not getting your messages. I'm sorry about that, okay? Let's have a look. Adam, I don't know. I'm not really... Adam, I'm a bit thing with doing charities now, Adam, to be honest, because I do get quite a lot of people requesting that I do charities. And it's to say yes to one and no to another. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really doing charities at the moment. But if you want to post that link within the text, then that's okay, because then it's come from you and not me. Do you see what I mean? You never know with these charities. It just worries me a bit that I'm going to say, oh yes, donate money to this, and then suddenly you find that it's not really a charity. It's all a bit worrying. So I don't really do charity announcements on here anymore, my darling. All right, but if you want to put a link within this chat window, then that's fine. Okay, my love. Good morning to JP this morning. Morning, JP. Adam says, back to Slimming World then, Chris. I wish I could. I wish I could. Lovely people who buy me ice creams and bars of chocolate. They mean so well. They mean well, but I mustn't have it, Mustn't have it. Rob says, that's a new one, Chris, blowing off a potato. The eco people will definitely look after you if you do that. Thank you. Good morning. There we Russ Vernon's on YouTube. Okay, that's working then. Good morning to you, Russ. Welcome to our show. You've probably been there very quietly for a moment or two, haven't you, my love? All right. So that's my big pots on earth. The other thing, of course, you've got to watch with lilies. If you've got a lot of lilies growing, you need to spray those plants against lily beetles, because literally, if you spot a few of them on there at night, I'll sort it out tomorrow. You'll have stalks there tomorrow. They eat all the leaves on the lily plants. You need to give that a spray every couple of days. Give it a spray with the special lily spray. Not all insecticides are the same. Make sure you've got the one that says gets lily beetles. Little red. They're a bit like ladybirds, but without the black spots and slightly thinner. They're lily beetles. There's a bloke on the radio last night, Nick Abbott. For a change, he did a show without talking much about Brexit, and it was quite good. I enjoyed it. Had a little bit of a laugh with him. He seemed to be plagued at the moment with ladybirds, and they keep getting into his house. He said, I don't know how they are getting into my house, because they've got hard shells, haven't they, ladybirds? Because they kind of got these hard shells, and then they open, and then the little wings come out, don't they? And he can't work out how they're getting into the house. He keeps finding infestations of ladybirds in his house. He said, how are they getting in? If they've got those hard shells, then surely they can't squeeze in small gaps or anything like that. Poor ladybirds aren't too bad. They eat the green fly, don't they? Ladybirds. Good. Now, what else have I got to tell you? Oh, I'm having an issue with my iPhone, I think. It takes ages to come on. Look, let me show you. Right, let me just turn it off first. And I'll show you how long this takes to come on in a minute. I don't know why that is. It's been doing it for a while now. When you get a new phone and you turn it on, it comes on instantly, doesn't it? I mean, I've got a few apps on here. Right, so watch this. I'm gonna turn right. I'm gonna push the button now. Right, I'm pushing the button. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 seconds that took. Sometimes it takes longer. Why does the iPhone take so long to come on when it's new? Is it because it has to load in all the apps or something like that? Eh? Do you think so? Is that what it is? Takes a while to open up the apps. I don't know why that happens like that. Good. Right. Anyone saying anything? Good morning to... I've said hello to Shania, haven't I? Oh, yeah, Shania and all that. Okie doke. Let's do some of these news. What's the time? 25 to 11? God, that's gone quick, hasn't it? Blimey. I don't know what my mate's coming over later. We're supposed to be watching 2 episodes of Star Trek. Apparently, Star Trek Discovery has had the last episode, which was absolutely fantastic. So I think we were going to watch 2 episodes of Star Trek today, but quite frankly, the sun's outside and it's just beautiful. And I want to go and do something in the garden, I would like to go do something in the garden. Right, if you've got Amazon, you've got one of those Echo things, you might be paying for a music subscription. Well, you might not have to now. Look at this. In the Daily Mail this morning, it says, Amazon is launching a new music service that's likely to compete with Spotify. Now, I have Spotify. I've only got the Spotify where... Oh, come over here a little bit far over. There we are. I've only got the Spotify that's on my computer. So I think I pay... I think it's $4.99 a month. Now, if I want to use that same account on my phone, so you stream to the phone, it goes up to $9.99 a month, and I don't want to pay that. I think it's a lot of money. And all these little payments that you have these monthly fees for. broadband for this, mobile phone for that, music streaming there, Netflix, Sky Television, and it all adds up. Some people are paying hundreds of pounds a month, in rental type subscription fees. A magazine, $4.99 a month. It all adds up, and I'm not one to. I do it as cheap as possible, so I've got the $4.99 streaming on my computer, and that's all I've got. Well, Amazon is now launching a new music service. The e-commerce giant is now offering a free, ad-supported streaming plan that lets users play for free on their Echo devices. So if you've got one of those Echoes, and you're not subscribed to one of those, you're a bit tight like me, and you won't subscribe to one of those music streaming services, this could be interesting for you. Users can access more than 2 million songs by talking to their Alexa-enabled smart speaker. It marks the third music streaming service launched by Amazon. Previously, Prime subscribers could access Prime Music songs for free and with intermittent ads for the cost of an annual subscription. They could also pay $3.99. What's that? It's about £2.50 to stream songs through Amazon Music Unlimited to get the service on one Echo device, or £10 a month for the ability to stream on non-Echo devices as well. As of yesterday, users can now ask Alexa. So you might want to change it, because I know a lot of you have got Alexa. So as of yesterday, users can now ask Alexa to play an artist, song, playlist or genre, and their Echo device will answer their request, albeit with a few ads in between each song. Since the launch of Amazon Music, customers have been able to use the simplicity and magic of voice to request music in fun, innovative ways, Amazon wrote in a blog post. Have you got Amazon Music? What streaming? Do you have a streaming service? YouTube do one as well? No, don't they? That's annoying. The YouTube one is annoying me. Every time I fire up YouTube on my mobile phone, it asks me if I want to subscribe to their premium streaming service. No. How many times do you want me to say no? It's like someone asking you a drink in a pub, innit? When they ask you and you're not drinking. Oh, would you want a drink? No, I don't want a drink. Oh, go on, have a drink. No, I don't want a drink, please. Oh, go on, please have a drink. Don't let me drink. I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to drink. Go on, it won't. Just one drink. I don't want to drink. Go away. No need to be rude. And then they get offended. Go away. No, I don't drink. I'm not a pisshead. Anyway, the story goes on here. What streaming service? Do you have a streaming service? What do you have? And how much is it? Adam, have you got one? Have you got a streaming service? You strike me as someone that might have a Spotify or an Amazon Music on your mobile phone. It says, interacting with music through voice, is the story in the Daily Mail, is transforming how people engage with music. Searching for a favourite station or music by era or genre is easier and more popular than ever before. And so, beginning today, customers in the US who do not yet have a Prime membership... Oh, it's in the US! Is this working in the UK yet? Can anyone try that who's got an Amazon? See if it's available there. I don't know what you'd say to it. Amazon free streaming service. Would you say something like that to it? Or I'm not quite sure how that works. All right. Rob says, I don't have an iPhone is the answer. Apple is so 2015. Rob's got Spotify for 7 years. What do you pay, Rob? What do you pay, Rob, for your Spotify? I must admit, I do have the Spotify, and I listen to occasional tunes and record them, and then I put them on the phone like that. It's £10 a month. I don't think that's a lot of money, £120 a year. You don't own it, do you? You don't own that song. It's not like a record where you can hold a record, but that's just old-fashioned now, isn't it? Incredibly sad story here, actually. Fortunately, it's not someone who's dead, but they tried to do himself in. It's in the Sun this morning. Cost of living. A suicidal man who was left in a coma after attempting to take his own life woke to find a £70,000 medical bill, leaving him feeling more hopeless than ever. This lad, Oliver Jordan, is only 21. So young. So young. Oliver Jordan, 21, spent a week in hospital in America after his tragic suicide attempt in Oklahoma. Doctors battled to save the young legal assistant, who needed to be put on a respirator after he was found semi-conscious last summer. But after waking up from his coma, Oliver was presented with a staggering medical bill totaling £71,500. That's about $93,000. In a tweet bravely sharing his ordeal, Oliver wrote on Monday, "This is how expensive it is to attempt suicide in the US." And explaining the renewed trauma the bill put him through, Oliver added, "Receiving bills and notices for something that will likely take me years to pay off is disheartening. It leaves a hopeless feeling." Oliver's tragic story was widely shared on social media and encouraged a flood of emotional responses from those who endured a similar experience. One read, "In 2017, I was in a psychiatric ward because I was suicidal. I stayed a weekend and now I'm £10,000 in debt." We're so lucky. You don't realise how lucky we are here to have the NHS. Whether you're cut your finger, got a sore throat, run over in a car, or indeed try to commit suicide, they'll do their best to bring you round, and if they do, it's all paid for and done. We are so lucky here. Okay, it doesn't always work perfectly. And there's a lot of lacking of funds, perhaps. Some people say it's lacking funds. Some people say it's bad management. Depends who you talk to, really. But at the end of the day, we're so lucky. You know, if you've got I know I hear people moaning all the time about their doctor's appointment that they booked for 10 o'clock and they're still sitting there at 11:30 waiting to be seen. Well, that's because it's free. Don't moan. There's clearly someone before you who needed a lot of attention. What do you want them to do? Or you've got your hand up someone's bum or something like that. Or you've had your 10 minutes, I haven't found anything yet, but you have to go now because the next one's in. No. You know, you've got to be a bit patient, I'm afraid. When you're sitting there in that waiting room, of course, no one wants to go to accident and emergency and sit there for 5 hours. No one wants to sit there for 5 hours. But if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Alternatively, go and pay someone to go and sort you out. I think there's private A&Es, isn't there, where you can just walk in and be dealt with at a cost of a few £1,000 if you've got it. If not, I'm afraid you've just got to sit there and wait and stop moaning. If you were that ill, you'd be pulled in. You know, if you just had a heart attack, you're straight in, mate. If you're sitting there, and a lot of people waste time in casualty, how dare you go to casualty with a cut finger and waste people's time? And that all takes time. It's not, it's not like being at home. Oh, cut my finger, quick wash plaster. It's taken you 2 minutes. Go to a hospital. That'll take you a few hours. I've seen it with my own eyes. Years ago, I was working at a radio station, Liberty Radio. It's going back nearly 20 years now. And one of the listeners was a nurse. And I went down to see her. I went down to visit her. And she said, "Here, Chris, come and have a look at this." So I looked through the curtain, the waiting room. She said, "See that lot out there?" She said, "Yeah, cut fingers and sore throats. That's what's wrong with them. They shouldn't even be in here." And that's why, it's one of the reasons the casualty units are in such a terrible state. People go there when they shouldn't be going there at all. Well, just clear them out, mate. Clear them out. That's what I say. The story goes on. One read, another wrote, "I think mine was only $32,000. Thankfully, Oliver has health insurance, which has carried vast majority of the bill." Well, that surprised me. A suicide attempt covered by his insurance. Now, that surprised me. I would have thought there'd be a get-out clause for that. You know, if you are ill, we will pay. You know what it's like with all these insurance things. They wriggle and they wriggle and they try and get out of paying you. I have very little insurance. I only have insurance that I have to have, like the car. You have to have car insurance. I think insurance companies are such a bloody rip-off. It's unbelievable. You always see people on the in the newspapers or on the news who have had some burglary or the house is burnt down or something. You know, they claim for £10,000. Well, we'll give you three. We'll give you three. I don't want three. All right then. 3,500. That's our final offer. Well, so what's the point? There's no point. Legalised bloody robbers, insurance companies. They really are. My brother-in-law's the same. He's got very little. He's got the insurance that he has to have. That's it. One of my mates, he's got insurance for everything. Jewellery. I mean, I don't have anything of value, really. I don't have jewellery or expense. I've got no jewelleries, no rings or anything here. Nothing. No gold, no expensive paintings. The furniture is bog standard. I just don't have expensive tastes at all, really. One of my mates, Wayne, his name is, he's got insurance left, right and centre for all. Life insurance for this. I haven't even got life insurance. What's the point of that? What's the point of life insurance? Oh, well, when you die, we'll give you £50,000. What am I going to do with it then? Have a nice coffin? I'm a bit worried, actually. A soothsayer said to me, one of my friends, actually, who predicts future things. He said I was going to die at 57. Well, I'm 56 and a half now. Not looking good, is it? Worry, worry, worry. That's all we do. Let's have a look there. Let's just scroll back there. So that's, don't try and commit suicide in America because it's going to cost you a lot of money. Adam's got the $9.99. I thought you would have. Yeah, Adam's got the $9.99 a month Spotify, and I have shared with about 6 people. So sometimes I can't get on it to use it. And you're paying the bill? That's outrageous, Adam. Outrageous. So I use a YouTube to listen to music as well, and of course that's free. Well, yeah, the trouble is though with the YouTube, Adam, if it's on your mobile phone and you're in the car, you can't close the screen, can you? Like you can with Apple Music. You can close the screen and it carries on playing, but not with the YouTube one unless you subscribe to it, and then it does. That's so annoying, that is. I know what you mean. Because I do actually listen to a lot of hymns and things in the car sometimes. But you've got to have it start it playing before you set off. Create like a little playlist type thing before you set off. Because once you set off, you can't be tapping away on your blooming phone. And also you've got to turn it up the other side. Because a policeman could come along and say, "Oh, you're watching the telly." So you've got to turn it up the other way as well. Otherwise, it does look like you're watching it. Well, I saw someone else watching the telly the other day in the car on their mobile phone. Why don't these people get nicked? Honestly, it was a Prius car, so clearly one of those Uber drivers again. He had it, and they don't even hide it. It's on. Where you put your phone when you got the sat nav on? They've got the television on that. God, so dangerous, so dangerous. Rob says his Spotify is free. All right. It's part of his Vodafone Red Entertainment bundle. With Vodafone, I get unlimited calls, texts, and 115 gig of data. That's very good. With Spotify Premium free of charge, and it renews every year. That's not a bad deal, is it, really, Rob? Not bad at all. And he pays £27.65 for all that a month. So that's including the phone and all that. That's not a bad deal, is it? Michael Pullman in Australia. I've a player GR on my phone. It's a free service. All the music comes from YouTube. GR player. Let me make a note of that. GR player. I'll have a look at that. Maybe that might be something I get. I mean, I've only got on my phone just a handful, really, of songs on there. Really, not much on there at all. Rob says it's usually $9.99 the Spotify, so he's paying less than £20. It's not bad, is it, really? Thank you very much. Hello to Passeribo. Welcome, Passeribo. Joining us right at the end of the show there. Blimey, that time went very quickly today. Gonna do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Happy birthday on this Saturday, the 20th of April 2019 to Martin Nikel. Morning night, Martin. He used to come along to the karaoke at Lucy's in Hammersmith. Good morning. Happy birthday to you. Lucy Jane Parkinson today is 31 years old. Happy birthday, Lucy. Benjamin Creevy. Good morning, Benjamin. Happy birthday to you. Anthony Versigny is today a young 54 years old. Happy birthday, Anthony. I'm having trouble seeing that. Well, where's my glasses? I haven't got my glasses with me, have I? I thought I had those a minute ago. Colin Simonites is 47 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Colin. Adam Wild is 32 on this Saturday. Massimo Matta. Good morning, Massimo. Happy birthday to you. And Mr. Paul Clay. Paul, you've reached a big 4-0 today of your Paul. Happy birthday to Paul Clay, who I haven't seen for about 3 years now. Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, gang. Rob, he said, now that you said about watching things in car, my car has a screen for sat-nav in the centre console. It's a 66-plate car, CD, DVD player in the glove compartment. You can put a DVD in a player and it shows it on the screen while you're driving. I mean, whoever thought of doing that? What a stupid thing to do. I'm surprised it's allowed. It's the Volkswagen Polo, but I've modified it into a boy racer. Have you adjusted it, Rob? Have you adjusted? I often wonder, you know the great big screens you've got along the road, especially in London? Big billboard screens that are like video screens. And they're so bright. I don't know how they ever got away with putting those up. They're very, very distracting. You're driving along looking at one of these screens and, hit someone up the arse. It's so easily done, isn't it? It really is. Anyway, that's it for the show today. I'm not sure if there'll be a show tomorrow, boys and girls. It depends how the day turns out, okay? But have a lovely Saturday. It's a beautiful day today. Time to get out there in the sunshine and enjoy it. All right, my darlings? And I'll see you again very soon. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye now.